Good evening, my fellow citizens.
Hey, welcome to Tuesdays Live, everybody. How you doing today? Mark Landansky here, host of Tuesdays Live this week and every week right here at tuesdayslive.com. Hopefully that's where you're tuned in over at our website. If not, you could be looking at us on Twitter, on Periscope, on Stream Me, on Twitch, or on YouTube. Yeah, we're going out to 5 different locations, and we're happy to be able to do that. We appreciate you tuning in tonight. A couple things. First, let me apologize for the delayed start. We had a little bit of a technical issue, but we are straight. We are good to go, and we got a great guest lined up for you tonight. I will introduce him shortly. Quickly, let me remind you, we are an interactive show. What that means is pretty simple. We'd like to interact with you, the audience. The way to do that is to get onto Twitter, give us a mention at All Indie. That's our username there. If you mention us on Twitter, we'll give you a shout out right here on the air, and we'll even show your tweet at the bottom of the screen on the other side. I pointed to the wrong, that one right there. And you can also ask questions of our guest if you have any, and do that the same way using All Indie, and we'll ask that, and we'll even show the question on the air as well. All right, without wasting any more time, let me first introduce my partner in crime, and the man you all know as the soul living person in Paris, Illinois. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe I just said that. All right, Rich Wildman. Hey, Rich.
Every week, it seems like you struggle to come up with those.
You know, I wasn't thinking about it earlier, and then I thought about it. You know, the problem is that I keep making your town smaller and smaller every week. And now that I've gotten to you being the sole living person there, I don't know how much smaller I can get.
I sent a tweet out last week saying, I've lived in Paris over a year and I've yet to find the Eiffel Tower. Somebody, can you help me? I hear it's a big thing, right? Nobody. No, not one person in the world replied.
No, and
so I'm assuming that this whole Eiffel Tower thing is a figment of somebody's imagination.
A hoax, and if you try to Uber there, they're going to be like, what the hell are you talking about?
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking at this point. But, by the way, there's something in the news you need to know about if you're an artist in any way, shape, or form. Doesn't matter whether you're indie signed or not. If you're thinking about putting your album, your LP, up and make it available on iTunes, Apple Music, whatever. Apparently, there's a rumor and a report floating around that says Apple, I'm going to read this, Apple could kill off iTunes in the near future. Now, before everybody goes all crazy up in arms and stuff, I want to make it clear, Apple's not killing off iTunes. They probably won't do that because it's a huge cash cow for them. They may, however, according to this report, kill off iTunes LPs, which is something totally different. So, if you're worried about it, you shouldn't be. So iTunes isn't going away, but iTunes LP might.
I'm not worried.
No, I wouldn't be worried either. I mean, one of the things that I was thinking about when I read this is how things come and go. As time goes by, it's just a natural fact of life. I mean, we all get old and die, just like technology. But one thing that I can tell you right now will not die is the Indie Music Bus. Indie Music Bus, Walt and the guys and kids down there, they're just going to be around forever. They're not going anywhere. Thank you. They're not going anywhere, and they're here to help support indie artists no matter where they're at in the world, no matter who they are. They want to help you. So get in touch with Indie Music Bus, indiemusicbus.com, indiemusic.us, if you care to go there as well. But indiemusicbus.com is where I suggest you go. Tell Walt we sent you there, and he's a great supporter of the show, and we really appreciate his support. and appreciate you watching. Here's a little something from the bus for you. That's the Indie Music Bus. Walt and the gang down there will help support indie musicians on all their social media accounts, and they do it for no cost. Free. Can you say that? Awesome.
That is incredible.
Yeah,
he's been doing it for forever, and he just adds more and more services and doesn't charge anybody anything. I know that this past weekend he was at the Okeechobee Music Festival and giving out stuff over there. Yeah, he was having a great old time this weekend over there.
Did he?
But good for Walt.
Did he take the bus?
He probably did. He probably parked it right in front of the stage.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too. Anyway, I think it'd be awesome. All indie musicians should get in touch with Walt, because not only is he a good guy, but he does a lot of great stuff for indie artists.
He does, yes. Let's go ahead and introduce our guest for tonight. We didn't have much of a chance for Wadir, for less of a bet. I'm using fancy words tonight. But what little bit of a bio I have here. He's from apparently from Fort Worth, Texas. Singer, songwriter, producer, and very talented guy. And he promises us he's going to let loose tonight and make sure we all have a good time. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further hesitation, let me bring in Todd Barrow. Hey, Todd. How's it going, man?
Hey, Mark. How are y'all? Good to be here.
Doing great. Now, well, yeah, we almost didn't have you. We kind of, thanks to your wife, with her. Is she an IT specialist? Does she have her degree in her doctorate in internet technical stuff? Computers.
I would say close to that, but she's a kidney transplant coordinator for a children's hospital.
Or IT specialist /
or something like that. Yeah, or that.
I guess you're looking at her over there. What's your wife's first name?
Julie.
Hey, Julie. My wife's name is Julie. That'll be easy to remember. Hey, Julie, thanks for fixing this for him. Appreciate it.
They're all waving. They're all waving. She's.
Oh,
yeah.
There she is. Hey, Julie. Okay. Her 2 seconds of fame. Her 2 seconds of fame are up. Now we got to talk about you. No.
Good night.
So, yeah. Goes over, folks. Go home. Have a nice night. No. So Fort Worth. Now I'm trying to picture that. That's close to Dallas, right?
Yes, part of the DFW area. More of the cattle, the red bricks, and the historic Billy Bobs kind of thing. Oh,
so you're the suburban, you're the Davie, Florida, to Dallas. I don't know if you know about Davie, Florida. Yeah, okay.
But sounds about right. Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah.
Have you ever been to Florida?
Oh yeah, I love Florida. Absolutely.
Oh, good. You don't have to kiss my ass. It's fine. If you don't like it, you can say so. Okay.
Mobile, Alabama kind of connects close to Florida. We've been all in that area right up there. When they do that ESPN thing where they throw the fish, I don't know. I think Orange, Florida, something like that.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but hey.
If you're wanting to talk Alabama, I used to live in Alabama. You're talking about Orange Beach.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
See? They got the road rolls up in Foley, and they got down in the beach, and they throw a lot of crap down south.
Yes, sir. Saying. Yes, sir, Rich.
It's all cool.
I hear you, man.
That's why all the crap is down here. All right. That's why you live in Paris, right, Rich?
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, So now I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I haven't had an opportunity to listen to your tunes, but I'm guessing it's country. Is it country?
You got it, brother. Of course. Why wouldn't it be? It's Texas. Really?
Well, yeah.
Would it be anything else from Texas? Come on.
Hey, they got rock bands in Texas, don't they?
They do. They do. And I have a lot of friends in the rock business. I got friends in all kinds of genres and the hip hop thing and everything, but you know, I got to stick to my own roots. And
oh, hey, that's great. I'm going to tell you, for many years, I didn't like country music. I didn't like, the country artists always singing about how their wives ran off with their horse or something like that. But
it's been a big horse, brother.
Yeah, those horses are gifted. So there was this one woman who sang this country song. Her name was Jessica Cannon, and we had her on a guest on our radio show way back when. And that's when when I heard her song, that's when I fell in love with country music. And ever since then, I've been a fan. So,
well, cool.
I like, since they've kind of, progressed beyond talking about their horses and cows and cattle.
Yeah.
I'm making fun of.
There's a little more storytelling to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little more storytelling.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I like about it. So, and how long have you been doing this now? Or how long have you been in the business?
Well, I've been in the business for about 10 years now, in different aspects of it. But primarily I got into country, and I don't know if this is the part where I need to tell how this all happened really, but my good buddy Sonny Burgess out of Nashville, he was he's worked with Charlie Pride and Pat Green and all these guys, and we kind of met, our paths kind of crossed, and he said, "Hey man," he goes, "I've heard you do some other stuff in the business," he said, "but would you mind trying to do something for me and change it up a little bit, make it some country?" And I said, "Okay, I'll try, man. I'll try." And I did. And when he heard me, he said, "You can never go back." He said, "You've got to go country." He said, "I promise you, if you pursue country, you'll make it." And so ever since then, I've been hitting the trails, and I just love it. I love the aspect. I love all the buzz about it and the people involved, and it just sharing with different audiences of all ages the music that I have to share.
What were you doing? So what were you doing before country?
I was working at a Taco Bell.
Oh, I thought you were. I thought you were singing some other type of music, or doing, performing other.
Oh, I got you before. Before the country thing. Well, in between that, making burritos and tacos. Liv Moss.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was doing more of the contemporary pop thing, really love ballad stuff, just sappy, commercial jingles, and you know what I mean. Just
yeah, sure. Okay, country's better.
Yeah, I think so. I love it. I could never change from it now.
I have a friend of mine who lives somewhere in Arizona now, but when I met him, he was in Vegas, a transplant from New York. He's a New Yorker, but he's a country singer, and he's doing it. He loves singing country too, and he never went back either. I don't know. You probably never heard of him. His name is Billy Kay. And he's based up in Arizona now, but good guy. Anyway, listen, This is what we got to do, because we didn't have much of a chance to discuss this before we went live on the air, but usually we play the tunes from our guests at 15, 30, and 45 minutes after the hour. We're about 7:21 right now, and we're going to go ahead and kick in the first tune of the night, which we have as called Grit and Grime. And what I would like for you to do at this point is tell us a little bit about the song, what it's about, how it came to be.
Yeah, actually, and I picked up this song from a writer in Nashville. His name's Nick Nichols. He's a great writer. He writes for a lot of big names. Could be here all night talking about it, but basically it's a true story. about him encountering this woman. He was at a light, and she started staring him down. And he kept driving, and he kept thinking about it. She kept driving and trying to catch up with him. And he thought, man, he goes, this is weird. He goes, there's something about this that's going to develop. He goes, I feel something. And he said he heard the melody hit him right then. And so he put the melody in and kind of put it on his recorder. And then he kept going. And then the lady went on, I guess. And then he started thinking about, he goes, man, I've worked on cars, and I've worked in a lot of hard jobs, and I've been under the hood a little bit, he started kind of comparing that to women, well, I've been under the car hood, I've been under the women hood, so, and then seriously, and then he was in another city. And it talks about these cities exactly, Jackson and Nashville. Same thing happened again. He's like, what is going on? He goes, I got to tie this all together. And so this is where that song was birthed from. And so they pitched it to me, and I get songs pitched to me from about 80 songwriters from all over the world, from different countries. And if I like it, I said I want to adopt it and own it and put my thing in it, and let's see where it goes. And man, this song is doing some amazing things on radio. It is heating up the waves.
That's awesome. Any chance you have your music playing out in the UK?
Absolutely, it does play in the UK.
Yeah, they seem to love country music out there in the UK.
Yeah. They do. They're just hungry for it, and I get people all the time, DJs and radio stations contact me. Hey, how can I get a hold of your music? How can do you want to come out and play out here? And yeah, Europe is prime for country music. I think bigger than the U.S.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. Do you know the name David Starr?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, he's a friend of mine. He's also been a guest on the show. In fact, our premiere show was him and John Oates from Hall & Oates. He produced our latest album, and David's been soaring on the charts over there. And he does country music, so it's
right.
It's great.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's let the audience take a listen. Ladies and gentlemen, the name of the song is Grit and Grime by Todd Barrow, right here on Tuesdays Live. We'll see you on the flip side of the song. Take it, Rich.
15 miles out of Jackson, Tennessee. Woman in a white Corvette staring at me. I'm thinking she must be out of her mind. Lady, you don't know what's behind these eyes. 'Cause I've seen bad and I've seen good. I've been underneath the hood, and there ain't much left of me but the grit and grime. She motioned me toward the exit sign. This fool will follow every time. Biggest mistake of her life, 'cause she's got no idea what's behind these eyes. 'Cause I've seen bad and I've seen good. I've been underneath the hood, and there ain't much left of me but the grit and grime. So I'll give her what she wants, leave her wanting more, and save a little bit for sea. Woman in a coupe de ville, staring at me, yeah.
Grit and Grime by Todd Barrows here on Tuesdays Live. Hope you all enjoyed that tune. I know we did. You know, you should have seen Rich doing the old knee slap in the background, you know.
I don't do that anymore. I play. I usually play along with the spoons, but you know, I left him. I left him in the other room. I've got 2 large wooden spoons. You know, the kind you use to stir baked batter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I normally do.
Mama chases you around the house with it.
Exactly. That's what they were used for when I was younger. But again, that's early on in my life. But no, it's fascinating when we have musicians on because musicians from every genre do things a lot differently. I mean, a rock band will tend to, get in there and knock stuff out left and right and not put a whole lot of thought into it in some cases. Some cases, they're very methodical about what they do. What would you consider the way you put music together, the way you produce music as an artist? Because I know reading through your bio that not only are you a singer-songwriter, you're an accomplished musician in your own right, and you produce as well. So when you combine all that, how is it that music comes together for you?
That's a good, that's the $1 million question. And there's a lot of things that go into putting together a great song. And I get a lot of young artists coming to me and saying, hey, what can I do to, improve? What can I do to get to that level of fulfillment that you're experiencing? And in my methods, it really has to come natural. It has to come in my heart, from my heart. And I have to really feel it, and I have to really know that, yeah, that's something that probably could happen to me or I would experience. Otherwise, I don't want to do it. But there's a lot of people out there, they'll do music just to do music. They'll just pick up, whatever chorus lyrics and the beat and whatever is going on with the direction of the song, and they'll have at it. My take on it is that I want to really help people experience something. An experience, and I want them to experience amazing. And I know that sounds kind of cheesy, experience amazing, it sounds like a commercial, but really, I want them to experience amazing. I want them to go away and go, and wherever I play too, when I play live, I give it 100%. And I mean, I'm dead dog tired sometimes. I don't want to play another note. My fingers are about to bleed on the guitar, but there's somebody in the audience that's hooping and hollering and waving and screaming and, getting into it. And I tell you what, man, here we go again. Crank it up. I can't stop, And I think that brings up another point, is that the people that, they respond to your energy. They respond to what you're bringing to the table or what you have to offer. That excites me. That gives me more fulfillment than any other thing in the world. I don't care about charting. I don't care about, this award, that award, who's on the red carpet. I don't care. I care about people going, oh my God, that was awesome. And I want to, I'm taking something with me.
That's one of the things. One of the things that musicians today, it seems to me, a lot of mainstream musicians, a lot of I hate to say it, but especially a lot of pop artists, it seems, that the whole idea and the whole feeling and thought behind the music has just kind of gone out the window. It's all about making the money. You know what I mean?
It is, Rich. It is.
And for a lot of producers and record companies all out there, it's all about being good looking, being photogenic, being able to draw a crowd and pull in the cash on your tours. It's not about getting out there and making music and making people happy and smiling anymore.
It's not. It's not about connecting with people. That's the problem. That's why I do what I do. That's the method that I choose. I got to connect with people. They don't connect with my music. What's the point?
Yeah, that's one of the great things about country music is it seems like a lot of real country artists. When I say real country artists, I think you know what I mean. Care about that connection with the audience more so than just about getting up on stage and doing it. You know, doing their thing to, you know, get the applause or win the awards or whatever.
Sure, yeah. All the acclimates and whatnot, and yeah, it's a you know, and there's a delicate balance to it because you know this is a business. I mean, we know music business is business, and you know it's about 80%, you know, business and 20% talent, basic. You know, when it comes down to it, when you're dealing with people in the industry, and so you could have the greatest voice in the world. You know, you could write the the song that makes the angels cry. You know, but if you don't have the right connections and the right people, and you and kind of see that you've got a vision and they want to move in that way, you're kind of left out there by yourself. You know, singing on a street corner with a hat. There's nothing wrong with that if that's your aim in life. So I don't discredit connecting with people in the industry. I don't discredit the CEOs, the execs, and the people that are in charge, so to speak. But I wish they would start to change some of the aspects of it to bring it down to the people and stop putting it up into Hollywood. The Hollywood, the glamour and the glitz and all that. I mean, come on, we're all people.
Now, one of the things I wanted to ask you, and we talked a little bit about this while the song was playing, was about the whole process you go through in making music when you actually sit down to record it. Whether or not I mean, we talked to a lot of indie artists, and a lot of indie artists, as I mentioned during the song, was the fact that a lot of indie artists are recording in home studios and don't necessarily have the opportunity to get into the big studios and whatnot. So what's your process in whether or not you do a lot of home recording, get your demos done there? Do you do any final production there? Or do you head out to the studio? Do you have a series of studios? Do you have your own studio? That kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've used like Pro Tools as one of the softwares out there, and there's so many so much great software that's it's just unbelievable. You walk in Guitar Center or wherever your favorite place is to shop, for your gear, and online, Amazon, and there's all kinds of places and some resources. But the thing is, when I want to do a serious song, I want to be with some people that are doing it constantly. That's their job. They wake up in the morning and they go there, they unlock the doors and they set up the sound and they turn it on, and they've got a system in place. I want to know somebody who's professional enough, that's produced enough people under their belt, that have had some hits and maybe not so much hits, but some good quality music that's out there. I want to have an engineer that knows what he's doing, because an engineer will break you or make you. And
right.
But if you have little demos to do, like home studio stuff, you set up a pro studio mic and headphones and whatnot. Man, there's nothing wrong with that, and just getting your teeth cut on it. But my opinion is, get in a great studio that's cranking them out, that knows what they're doing for the quality.
Right, that makes sense. Now, we had a comment on Twitter from Carol over at Indie Music Coalition saying that she loves the story behind the song, and says you have an awesome voice. It says apparently you can give Don Henley a run for his money. So,
wow.
So,
thank you.
Do you have any artists that you aspire to that were instrumental in you doing what you're doing today?
Well, I've been asked that question every time I get interviewed.
I'm sure you have, yeah.
but there's a long list of artists out there. I would say that Charlie Pride, I know, he's getting on up there in age, but Charlie Pride is a troubadour, and he's inspired me. I've watched his documentaries. I've seen him live. I've met him personally. I have a lot of good friends that run in his circles, but he would be one that I would say just has the heart and soul of a hard worker and doing what he loves to do and staying true to the art. George Strait is a great country artist. I love George Strait. I know people, it's kind of half. People say, well, he's kind of, gone the other way. I don't think so. I think he's stayed true to the course, and he just puts out great country music. Yeah, there's just, classic artists from Johnny Cash, obviously, to Merle Haggard, and there's George Jones. I mean, the list goes on.
A lot of the older country artists is what I'm hearing. Yeah,
because I feel like they had the heart and soul of it. They didn't lose sight of it in the pop age of pop country and what's happening out there. So I'm just trying to make a difference, man. I'm just trying, hey, let's put out great music. Let's make it lively. Be the best you can be. But, man, keep it real, please.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So growing up in school, were you musical in school? I hear you, Mark. Mark's telling me we got to get to your next song, but I want to hear, I think it's important to get a little bit of deep background on when you were in school, were you playing an instrument? Were you musical back then?
Well, I started in a junior high band and, playing the trombone. So in a junior high band, imagine that. And, trying to learn music and just the flow of music and under a director and the discipline of it, of having to practice every night and just, learning different, the treble and all the different aspects of sheet music and everything. So that's kind of how I got started. And then I started kind of tinkering around with the piano. When I got in junior college, I started, kind of thinking, man, I really like that. I remember the Beatles, kind of making that a big thing. And I'd like to try that out. So I started just playing by ear. And I basically learned how to play piano by ear just because I wanted to do it. And then that's how I started writing. I started writing from piano, and then progressed to guitar now, which I absolutely love. Guitar is my favorite. Acoustic.
Nice.
I just can't get enough of it.
Awesome. Well, I know Mark wants to get to your second song. He's gonna kill me if I ask another question, but I'm gonna let him do it.
Yeah. No. Well, you know what though? Before we move on to the second song, I just want to say, I hate the fact that you learned piano on your own. I struggle. I started learning piano, taking piano lessons at the age of 6, and until I was 16, I was taking lessons. And even after that, I still didn't have it down pat. And every time I hear someone say, "Oh, I taught myself piano," I just want to punch them in the face. But anyway. Next song.
Right here. Which side do you want? Which side do you want?
In the Dirt. All right. That's the next song we got coming up. So, that was a terrible segue, but I just wanted to get off that subject because it was beginning to get, boil my blood. No,
we won't go there anymore.
No. So tell us a little bit about In the Dirt.
Yeah, In the Dirt is a song just about good old boys. I grew up watching the Dukes of Hazzard, Bo and Duke and Daisy, of course, the Daisy, my Lord. But anyway, so that kind of got in my blood, and I kind of have it on my screensaver. I've got the car on my screensaver. Yeah, the General Lee. And this song really relates to that. I mean, if you've ever been out riding a bike, motorbike or anything in the dirt or mud wrestle, I don't know if you mud wrestle, you guys out there, but that's kind of, Some women mud wrestling might be cool, but in the dirt, just about good old boys. We just wear jeans and t-shirts and love our girls, and it's just the sweet by and by, man. Mayberry kind of thing.
Mayberry, mud wrestling in Mayberry. Now that would be an old.
I mean, we've got a lot of spectrum here. A lot of spectrum.
I try to limit my I try to limit my mud wrestling to only twice a week. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on with the next song. It's called "In the Dirt" by Todd Barrow, right here on Tuesdays Live. Take it away, Rich.
Great-great-granddad came to this land wearing everything he owned. Dug in the Moonrun mines till he was 59 for black diamond, blue coal stones. Barely making rent, saved every cent, buy a farm for the family. When his days were done, he left it to his son till it made its way down to me. Not before I could walk, before I could climb, before I could talk, spend most of my time in the dirt, sweet Mother Earth, in the clay and the dust and mud, in the dirt. For all it's worth, it's running through my blood. It's where I race my car, where I earn my scars and my denims and t-shirts. When good old boys need to make some noise, we do it in the dirt. Before the sun comes out, there ain't no doubt I'll be turning up the sod. At the end of the day, when it's time to play, four-wheeling on the quad. Till my girl drops by with them sexy eyes that cut through me like a knife. Grab the ring I bought, take her to our spot, and ask her to be my wife. We'll lay on the ground, neath the stars above, no one else around, and we'll kiss and we'll make love in the dirt, sweet Mother Earth, in the clay and the dust and mud, in the dirt. For all it's worth, it's running through my blood. It's where I race my car, where I earn my scars and my denims and t-shirts. When good old boys need to make some noise, we do it in the dirt, yeah. In the dirt. Our guitar. It gives me peace of mind that one day my great-grandson might be standing under the same old oak, right where they'll bury me. In the dirt, sweet Mother Earth, in the clay and the dust and mud, in the dirt. For all it's worth, it's running through my blood. It's where I race my car, where I earn my scars and my denims and t-shirts. When good old boys need to make some noise, we do it in the dirt. Do it in the dirt. Oh, in the dirt. Having fun in the dirt.
In the Dirt by Todd Barrows, right here on Tuesdays Live. Again, we appreciate you tuning in. Hope everybody's enjoying the show so far. I know we're having a blast here with Todd Barrows, who's out there in Fort Worth, Texas. And, yeah. Yeehaw. We need a whip sound. All right.
Yeah, boy.
So I'm just curious now. So do you live on a farm?
Oh man, yeah, it's kind of funny you say that because we were living in a house. We live in a new neighborhood now. We were in a neighborhood. We were raising chickens and get fresh eggs every morning. So that was about the closest thing that I got to as a rancher. In a city, is raising chickens and getting fresh eggs every morning. So, but we had to get rid of them because we moved to another zone, and the city officials think you have to live a certain way, and so there went my farming life.
Well, raising chickens, you never learned how to lasso. It's kind of difficult to lasso a chicken. So,
Oh, yeah, I tell you, those chickens are fast. Chickens are fast, man.
Were they free range chickens?
They were. I can't remember the name of these chickens, but because they were like special breed chickens. Oh, go ahead.
By free range, I mean like were they out in the field, and in the open range, or did you keep them like in a?
No, they had their own little farm. They had their own little chicken cage, and yeah, of course,
chicken farm. Yeah,
chicken farm. No, yeah, man.
I'm sure there's nothing like fresh eggs. That's one thing I've never experienced was a fresh egg. Just got it this morning. Just laid it. Here you go, buddy. Have this.
Unbelievable. Unbelievably fresh, man. They're fresh. I miss it.
Very good. Very good. So now let's switch back to music for a second.
Okay.
Sure you do. I'm sure you do some touring, at least in Texas, right? I mean, I don't know if you've done any touring out, around the States or anything. But when you do tour, is it mostly an acoustic gig, or you have a band following you around, or how's that work for you?
Yeah, that's a good question. It just depends on the venue, because a lot of these places now just want an acoustic vibe. They don't, they want an acoustic set kind of feel to it. So I do both. And to answer your question, I do both. And a lot of the festivals that I do, I have a full band. If it's a dance bar, full band. So it just depends on the venue.
Do you have a preference? Do you prefer to play an acoustic by yourself on the stage, or do you like having the band behind you?
I like.
Are you trying not to? Are you trying not to insult your band members?
I'm trying to insult bands everywhere, but I like the acoustic set sometimes because I don't have to keep everybody on track. I pretty much can run the way I want to go with stuff, and I can stop, and I can, I can kind of redirect when I need to. But with a band, you got more people to kind of coordinate stuff. But I do love the band. I do love playing with a live band behind you, because they're just things that you can do, different techniques you can do, that you can't do just by yourself. And I try to do all the techniques by myself, and just kind of wear yourself out by the end of the night.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. What's the what would you say was like the best place you performed, your best venue?
Oh man, who's watching out there? The best venue. I gotta say that Mayfest that I do every year is probably one of my favorite venues to do, and I love the atmosphere. Of course, it's not cold outside; it's warm in Texas. A good family environment. And they put me on this stage that it's strictly Texas country or country music. That's it. So the people coming to your stage that's country folk wanting to hear your thing, to watch you do your thing. So I would say Mayfest is probably one of my favorite.
That's pretty cool. Now, and do you have one that you could look back on and say, wow, that was one strange place that I performed?
Oh, yeah.
What would be the location?
And well, probably more than the norm. The places I've played, you wouldn't be caught dead in. Most people would be like, I'm not going there. Why would you even want to consider that going there? I mean, the bar's really, you know, dive bar. The bar's already dived. You know, it's gone. You know, forget it. I'll tell you this. I was playing in a place, and it had a big donkey on the front of it. And I won't mention the name of this place, but there were no windows. There was, you know, it was all pretty much, you know, locked in. You know, there was one door to get in and one door to get out. And it was in a sketchy area. I would, you know, some things going on out in the streets and things, you know, you would say, wow, that's kind of something. It's not a place you want to take your mama to, you know. But I think the place used to be a strip bar. I think the guy turned it into this, you know, somewhat bar atmosphere, and he wanted country music from, you know, the guys to come in there and entertain everybody. So sure enough, I showed up. And I go and I do my sound check, but man, you can't see a thing. There's no lights on the stage. It's like you're flying blind. So my wife had to run out and get me a clip on just so I could see, you know. But anyway, got cranking and got moving and got, you know, people started, you know, all kinds of different people started congregating in that area, and they started getting into it, and they're like, yeah, this is good stuff. And the owner's like, coming up to me and going, hey, you want another beer? You good? You want to, you know, like, come on, you got it. Let's go. So I just kept going through the whole night and kept doing what I could do, you know. Well, I finished about 3 hours later, finished the whole set, got in, got situated, and come to find out that some guy had been murdered that night behind the bar. He was stripped naked.
Oh,
dead.
Man.
Oh, man. So, yeah, it was interesting. It was an interesting place to play.
That sounds like a country song in itself right there.
I mean, you can't make this stuff up, man.
Oh, man. You know, that threw me off because I had another question. And now when you... no. Oh, no.
True
yeah,
story.
no, I was going to ask.
True story.
Have you ever played in a venue where you're on the stage and there's a barbed wire covering the stage? You know, covering the whole stage so they can't, you know, throw shit at you?
Like, you know, I've been fortunate. I haven't gotten in that outfit yet, but I'm sure I'd be all for it if it was to come my way. I'll play anywhere, I tell you.
I got that. I was thinking of a scene. I think it was the Blues Brothers. Remember the Blues Brothers with the?
Oh yeah.
There was a scene. They were playing in a bar, and they're of course play blues, but they're in a country bar, and you know, and they're playing on the stage, and it's got barbed wire lined up, so people can't throw bottles and hands at them.
Well, you know, there may not be barbed wire around some of these places, but there might as well sure be barbed wire. They might as well put some barbed wire around it.
Interesting. Well, you got a good story there. You know, one day you're going to write yourself write a biography, an autobiography, and you got to make sure you put that story in. Yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot of stories. I love telling stories, though. I tell them, you know, last place I played, listen, this is what happened. They're like, there's no way. I'm like, you would not believe. Oh, it's good fun. Living life.
One of the things I love is when I go to see a performer, especially if it's an acoustic set, and he tells stories. I'm trying to think. There's this one artist in California who does it really well. Josh. Well, he used to go by the name Josh D'Amigo, but he changed his name to Josh David, and based in San Diego. He's an acoustic singer-songwriter, and he gets up there and he tells the best stories. And I think that really adds a lot to a show and adds a whole new level of entertainment for the audience. So good on you for that. Telling stories. I like that. Next time you come, if you ever make it to Florida, I'm coming to see your gig. Definitely, for sure.
Hey, you got to know something first though. He's in South Florida.
Oh, yeah, South Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay, we got
he's a lot further away from you than what I would be, say, for example.
Okay.
Just saying. I'm not,
You're just
just,
yeah.
you know.
I
We
sense
do
some
have-
competition, but I don't know. Maybe. Yeah.
We have
I
a
can
very
make things
large
stop.
country fan base down here, especially in Davie. So let's go ahead and play the third song, and because we're gonna try to wrap this show up about 10 after the hour, I think. The song we got lined up for the finale is "Outlaw in Me." I'll tell you what, these songs, the titles, definitely country music titles for sure. The "Outlaw in Me." Tell us a little bit about this one.
Yeah, Outlaw and me. Of course, my last name is Clyde Barrow. Barrow is one of the, Bonnie and Clyde and that whole thing. And I've just always been fascinated with that life that they portrayed. Good, right, wrong, or indifferent, or however you want to take it. But there was something about them that made them go after things in life, and I think that that's what country music does too. It just makes you go after stuff. If people say you can't do it, and you go, "Oh yeah, I can do it. Trust me, I'm gonna do it." And so this whole story with the Outlaw and Me is about that kind of portrayal of the outlaw of nobody's gonna treat me like this. I'm gonna do I'm gonna show myself in this world, and I just love the history behind it. Always been a fan of the Bonnie and Clyde story, and the things that they went through, the struggles, and what they had to face. But they were fearless. And it was the outlaw in them. So that's kind of what the song's about.
All right, cool. Let's let the audience take a listen then. The name of the song is "Outlaw in Me" by Todd Barrow, right here on Tuesdays Live. Kick it, Rich.
No, ma'am, is what I should say. Real strict is how I was raised. A little change won't hurt a thing. One night with you, I'll never be the same. Climb on in my dirty old work truck. Hit the road with nothing but our luck. Raise some hell and leave it all undone. With you, girl, I feel forever young. Like Bonnie and Clyde, let's kick some dust up. Take a ride to the other side. We can go where no one will find us. Just set free the outlaw in me. Yes, please, slide on over here. You got me driving without a care. It's hard to keep between these lines. It's not too late to change our crazy minds. Promise me we will never look back. Your wild eyes are giving me a heart attack. We're alive and living on the run. With you, girl, I feel forever young. Like Bonnie and Clyde, let's kick some dust up. Take a ride to the other side. We can go where no one will find us. Just set free the outlaw in me. Like Bonnie and Clyde, let's kick some dust up. Take a ride to the other side. We can go where no one will find us. Just set free the outlaw. Like Bonnie and Clyde, let's kick some dust up. Take a ride to the other side. We can go where no one will find us. Just set free the outlaw in me.
"Outlaw and Me" right here on Tuesdays Live by our guest Todd Barrows from Fort Worth, Texas. What's up, Todd? You enjoying yourself so far?
Man, you guys are awesome. I love hanging out with you guys. This is a great show. Thanks for having me, really.
Don't say that until the end, because you never. It could just go right downhill from here. You just don't know. You know. You really don't know. I do have a. What's that, Mark?
That anything could happen.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Twitter comment out there. Great show tonight. Really enjoyed listening to your music, your stories. Loved it. So, good things people are saying.
That's good. That's good. Thank you.
So, let me put the question to you. What do you got going on right now? You got anything new you're working on in the studio? Anything new that you got going through the shop? Any new venues you're going to? Tour dates? Where can people find you, and what can they expect next out of you?
Sure. Can I give out my website? Is that cool?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because if you want to find out where I'm going to be, you can go to there's my website, toddbarrowmusic.com. You can check out my music, places I'm going to be. I keep a list of things that I'm up to, or stories, and just information you might find interesting about the business, about the industry. But I'm going to be my next place that I'm really excited about. It's going to be in Houston, Texas, actually, at the Firehouse Saloon. It's just really hot spot for country artists. Big names are showing up there, and they invited me to come there and do a show. So I'm excited about that. That's coming up pretty soon. Yeah, I got a tune it's in the works, man. I can't wait to get this tune out. I was in the studio.
It's not about a guy in a bar who kind of gets killed in the middle of a country set or anything like that, is it?
Oh, I hope not. No,
okay.
Not yet. That's the ending. That's the ending of that story. The climactic point of that, up in a blaze of glory, baby. But no, this song, I got a new song. It's called Cornbread Dead. It's it talks about everything that's so against the cosmopolitan and all the the glamour and Ralph Lauren, and I don't wear Ralph Lauren. I wear these grungy shirts, and I eat what I want to eat. I don't trust those powders and pills for weight loss.
There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I'm excited about it. Yeah, it's getting ready to be released. It'll release here in the next month or so. So yeah,
that's pretty awesome. Well, we're definitely looking forward to that. And so, looking back on your career so far, what is there? Is there anything you wish you could have done differently, or have you been pretty satisfied with everything and the way everything has gone?
If I had to do it all over again, I would have started earlier. I think that's the question. I think if I had to do it all over again, I would have started much earlier. However, I've learned a lot, and I've gained a lot of wisdom and insight that most young people just starting out, they don't have. They just, that need some guidance. They need somebody that can come alongside of them and be a mentor. And I think that's really important for any indie artist, period, that you find somebody that can take you under their wings and show you the way, and just kind of be a mentor and guide you. And, because it's a tough business. It's rough out there, and you can get your feelings hurt. Of course, you better get over that quick,
No, that's a good point, a very good point. A lot of musicians that I know are really a little bit sensitive when it comes to things like their music and how people react to it and things like that. What's been the hardest thing for you about being a musician? Not a country musician, but just a musician in general.
Yeah, in general, I think that you have to get past those feelings and emotions, and you have to learn how to channel those emotions in the right way, and kind of set aside what's truth and what's fiction, and that kind of thing. But the thing is that you just really have to stay true to yourself and what you're doing, and you don't try to be like somebody else. Be yourself. That's what I tell everybody. Be yourself. Because if you're gonna be somebody else, well, who needs that? You already got that. They're already doing their thing. Do your thing. and get confident in what you're doing, you know, and get better at it, and suck it up. Okay, so you suck. Okay, get better. You know, that's my take on that.
I hear you. I hear you. Now, I got one final question, and I know that we're going to have to wrap the show up fairly quickly. But one final question is, I got to ask you,
Go ahead, Rich.
how'd you meet your wife? How'd you meet Julie? Because obviously she's a great catch, being able to fix your technical issues like she did earlier today. So we got to give her a little plug here too. So you got to tell us how you met.
All right, I'll give you a little plug, and this is how it happened. Is Sonny Burgess, who I mentioned, good friend, great guy, he's constantly giving back to charities and groups, and does benefit concerts, and you know, he hangs out with, you know, Toby Keith and people like that. But he is a director at a children's hospital in Fort Worth, Cook Children's in Fort Worth, where my wife works, and she is the kidney transplant coordinator. And while I was there, Sonny introduced us at the hospital, and thought we might be a good match, and that she probably could be a good asset in my life, and I could be beneficial to her. You know, I hope so. I think
Did one of those things where she kind of calms you down and you kind of get her out of her shell?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
because because I'm all over the map. You got to know. I mean, as a musician, I am, and she keeps me grounded. You know, and she's just that way. So I love her and thank God for her, because I'd be a mess, man.
Well, she came through for you tonight, so that's a good thing there.
You've seen it, folks. You've seen it firsthand, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, well, I'm going to toss it back to Mark now. I know he wants to wrap up, but I really appreciate you being here. Appreciate your music. Had a great time with you tonight. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
And thanks for not panicking when we were having the technical issues, because I was on the verge of panic myself. But you know, Rich calms me down. Yeah.
When you do shows like that, you get it. Live shows, you're like, the sound's not working. No, we'll get it. We'll get there.
Yeah. Well, you know, we've had some interesting issues since we've started doing this. It makes it a lot harder doing audio and video, but we work them out all the time. Anyway, so thank you so much for. Oh, we appreciate it, and the show will be available to rewatch as many times as you want on YouTube. Roughly about an hour after we end, it'll be available, and it'll stay there. You can take that and put it on your website or send it out to your mailing list, whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
sure.
I'll put it on my website.
Cool.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
And
thank you.
Yeah, folks, next week, well, we're going from country music to hip hop. Next week, we got a hip hop coming on. Yeah.
Really? Wow.
You didn't know that?
I did not.
Yeah, hip hop. The name, he calls himself Strong Arm, and ARM is with periods after it, so A period, R period, M period. And he'll be joining us next week on the show. It's going to be interesting. We've had some rap artists on the show before. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, you know, is it Strong Arm, or is it Strong A for like Aaron, R for like Reginald, M for like Morgan, or, you know?
I guess we'll find out next week, because it doesn't say anything about that on the bio. Okay. But we shall ask him. We shall ask him. And so we're going to close out the show tonight with a song by Strong Arm. And hopefully I'm saying it correctly, Strong Arm instead of Strong ARM. I'm guessing it should be Strong Arm. But
that period.
Yeah, it does. Rich, before I introduce the song, any final words for the evening?
Yeah, you know, besides thanking Todd again, because, man, you know, just what a great guy and great music to listen to there. I do want to say one thing. Good night, Carol.
Yep. Good night, Carol. Carol is our A&R person, our social media specialist, our
See, now
coffee.
you ruined it. Now you ruined it. See, if you just let the mystery hang, you know, everybody would be like, "Oh, who's Carol?" Maybe Carol was a long lost friend who died in a yachting accident many years ago, or something like. Maybe she was stranded on a deserted island, but they never found her, or you know. But now everybody knows who Carol is now.
Well, okay. I just felt I needed to explain that, but I'll tell you what. Next week, I'll just leave it. All right, we'll see how it goes from there.
All right.
Good night. All right. Next week, as I said, Strong Arm. We're going to close out with a song by him. We shall see you right here at TuesdaysLive.com. Next week, same time, same station. You know how it goes. Y'all have a great night. Then the song is NYC 2000. Y'all have a great night. See ya. Peace out.
Who I am and where I'm from, Brooklyn, NYC, number 1. Brownsville.
Where you at, son? Where you at, kid? What? Survival cool racket, strong arm, strangulation. Where you at, kid? Where you at, son? Makes it my business, show you how I get down. Brings it mad loud when I represent my town. Where I'm from, don't try to act like you don't know. I got it in for those who try to with my dough. But those who don't know, I'm making sure that you know. The illegitimate show, y'all all got to go. Think twice, yo, before coming at me. Cause I dots every eye and I cross every T, motherfucker. So come on and put your bets down, players. And let's see who's gonna be the next player. For the spotlight, you know that I'm starving. If I was Batman, I'd have to say, forget Robin. It's only right we wildin' out for the night. With girls of all complexions, every size, every type. Just in case you wanna go a few rounds when we come to your town. Yo, the straight blow it down. On my Brooklyn motherfucker. Where you at? Pumping, freaking hit me. Throwing it. If you feel what I'm saying, all my react. When it's time to hit the street, we got your back. On my Bronx motherfucker. Where you at? Pumping, freaking hit me. Throwing it. If you feel what I'm saying, all my react. When it's time to hit the street, we got your back. Yo, who the f you think you are? Ain't up the par. Okay, you have a hit record that don't make you a star. Dig it. Don't talk that bullshit. You don't live it. Being the big dog too soon, you'll end up in the river. Like me, blowing it up every time, every rhyme. Best believe it's strong, yo, I'm getting mine. Best believe what I say and where I say I'm headed. And if you think you coming close, your whole dead it. Ain't no hocus pocus, I'm swarming like a locust. I'm hot and smoking, no joking. Think throwing and got a joking. Feel what I say, cause I say what I feel. Understanding is the thin line between the fake and the real. Out the kill, 3D in your grill. Yeah, on yourself, staring out the barrel of my steel. Whether on your block, in the club, or in your car, throw your hands in the air. Let me know where you are. All my queens, motherfucker. Where you at? Puffin', drinking Henny, throwing it. If you feel what I'm saying, all my react. When it's time to hit the street, we got your back. Uptown, motherfucker. Where you at? Puffin', drinking Henny, throwing it. If you feel what I'm saying, all my react. When it's time to hit the street, we got your back. Straight from Lincoln to Christopher Ave. My NY peoples, y'all know where it's at. Is on your mind, you deaf, dumb, and blind. Look a little deeper, it's my you gon' find. Trying to find out really where your heart is at. With me, you gotta be smarter than that. Not feeling the cat, talking got the heart to face me when your blood hits the air. Believe me, I'ma taste it. I got you think you putting in work. Like me, moving in, leaving them hurt. You jerks, don't be wide-eyed or surprised. Let the truth be told. Someone born, someone dies. I'm hobnobbing with the guards deeper than the mob. Taking it every time, don't give a f who you are. That's how it be when you messing with me. What? That's how it be when you messing with me. Keeps it real for streets. Banging heads on concrete. Blowing spots, connecting dots, putting MCs to sleep. Takes it far, kill them all. Watch them fall when they call. Got the ball, bring it on. You wanna react? Where you at? My NY niggas, y'all straight got my back. You ain't got what it takes, yo, to come and get it. When it's real, knowing how to really spit it. Shaolin, motherfucker. Where you at? Pumping, drinking Henny, throwing it. If you feel what I'm saying, all my react. When it's time to hit the street, we got your back. Long Island, motherfucker. Where you at? Pumping, drinking Henny, throwing it. If you feel what I'm saying, all my react. When it's time to hit the street, we got your back. NY, motherfucker. Where you at? New Jersey, motherfucker. Where you at? Philly, motherfucker. Where you at? DC, motherfucker. Where you at? VA, motherfucker. Where you at? Atlanta, motherfucker. Where you at? LA, motherfucker. Where you at? Worldwide.
Good evening, my fellow citizens.